Thanks for joining us today on the greatest team of all time, the best I ever saw. These are teams that are selected by baseball's immortals, and today we're going to talk about Luis Aparicio's all-time team. And last week we discussed Hank Aaron's all-time team, and you can check that video out. I have a link in the show notes. And that was a fantastic team that he put together. And, now we're going to listen to Aparicio and what he said and the team that he picked. Now, just a few quick notes on Aparicio. Elected into the Hall of Fame in 1984. He played on two World Series teams, the 1959 Chicago White Sox and the 1966 Baltimore Orioles, and he won the championship with the Orioles in '66. He also played on 13 All-Star teams, won 9 Gold Gloves, and was the 1956 Rookie of the Year, and he was the runner-up to the 1959 American League MVP. In Aparicio's view, not even Frank Robinson's election to the Hall of Fame brought outfielder the recognition he really deserved. The thing about Frank was that he could beat you in 100 different ways, some of which never showed up in a box score. If he didn't hit, he'd make a great catch. He'd steal a base. He'd kick the ball out of an infielder's glove. He always had something in mind. And I just don't know of anybody who ever played the game who was more of a force on the field. Now, in addition to his starting lineup, Aparicio wanted to make notes about two players. One was, and they were both from the Minnesota Twins, one was Tony Oliva. He said he was the best pure hitter the way that they talk about Ted Williams. Before his legs gave out on him, he was second to nobody with the bat in his hands. And then he said, I also could have done without facing Camilo Pascual. He said that Pascual had the best curveball he ever saw. Nobody could make you look more foolish when you were in the batter's box. Now, just a reminder on his all-time team, these are players that he played with, he played against. And just like Aaron last week, who played the majority of his career in the National League, he picked all National Leaguers. Aparicio played his entire career in the American League, so his list is going to be slanted towards the American League. So in the outfield, he took Frank Robinson, Mickey Mantle, and Al Kaline. Around the horn, teammate Brooks Robinson at third, Tony Kubek at short, Bobby Richardson second, Vic Power at first. The battery, Jim Palmer, right-handed, Dave McNally, left-handed, Bill Freehand, catcher. And just a reminder on Aparicio, him playing on the 59 and 66 World Series teams, you can listen to all those games from both of those World Series on VintageBaseballReflections.com. And next week, we're going to talk about Luke Appling. Of course, he was famously known as Old Aches and Pains. We're going to hear his all-time team and a little bit about a great interview that we have from him as well. So until next week, we'll see you at the ballpark.